Sorry about that. That sucked.
There we go. Hello again. It's funny. As much as I used to pride myself on being a tech-savvy individual, in my older age, I learned to use things less. Hey, everyone. This is kind of our evening before the next game. We had a little bit of free time at our hands, and I've really tried this thing out enough, it seems. So I figured we'd hang for you guys for a little bit, answer some questions. Oh, we got a hi from New Zealand and Calgary. Wow, we're getting some people out there. Well, I'm glad you guys can join us for a little bit in a weird, random little exchange here. Marisha's over here enjoying some Dippin' Dots.
Hi guys, I got Dippin' Dots. They make them in a bag now. I don't know if you guys knew that, but very few places sell them. But you can buy Dippin' Dots in stores sometimes. I'm obsessed.
Ontario, wow. We got Houston, Texas, Australia. Dang, Wisconsin. We got a lot of people from all over the place here. That's crazy. Well, welcome to our craziness. In Houston, Delaware, Arizona, Utah, Mississippi, Indiana. Oh my God, this is so crazy. Aw. Minnesota.
You sound
Nashville.
like that song.
I do kind of. This is Dagon. This is our birdie. Hey Dagon, say hi to the internet.
Hi guys, how you doing? Oh. Hi Birdie. This is Dagon. She's our cinnamon green-cheeked conure. And she gets really upset when attention is not being paid to her.
Yeah. Pew pew.
Very upset. So she could
Hey, buddy.
She could hear us talking to someone that wasn't her, so that's why she started screaming.
Yeah. She wants my rice pudding. What does she want? A little Mission Impossible action there for you? Just a little bit there? Good job.
Such an asshole.
Good job. One leg even, because you're crazy. That's our birdie who's currently in the process of wanting sex. It's more Marisha's familiar than mine, to be honest.
She does know me.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I'll start with some questions. Let's see. First and foremost, let's see. Pet bird before? I didn't think I'd be into pet birds, honestly. I got this from Marisha on our first anniversary, and I was like, I grew up with dogs and cats, and was kind of like, birds, okay, we'll give it a shot. And actually, I absolutely adore it. She can be a bit of a pain at times, but I had no idea that birds can have so much personality. She had so much personality, so much expression to her. It's kind of adorable. How's my day been? My day's been good. Actually, this summer has been probably the busiest summer I've had in a long time, like outside of Critical Role especially. And I've had no time to myself. And this past week, and it's been a little more relaxed. And it's been nice to have a little time to, honestly, finally beat The Witcher. So, and Dagon says hello again. Awesome Young Frankenstein poster. I got that. I found it online when we first got this apartment, actually. It's about 4 years ago. I'm sure if you look up like cool Young Frankenstein posters online, you'll find it, but I thought it was pretty rad. Oh, hey, Kyle. Magic Castle Night would be kind of rad, actually. We'll talk about that. Let's see. Looking at Witch Hunter class is awesome. It is basically The Witcher. Parts of it are definitely inspired by The Witcher, and I think I put that in the write-up there. There are elements that were kind of inspired by the element that I created for the Vin Diesel game. Parts that were just wanting to do kind of a warlock spin on the Eldritch Knight, and then mutagens. It's straight up Witcher. So it was kind of a little bit of a love letter to those games, which I hold so dear, and wanting to make it interesting and different than anything that's really been done. Marisha, say hi.
Hi guys! I'm eating Dippin' Dots, as I previously stated, but for those who are coming in, I'm eating Dippin' Dots.
Let's see, how long did the Halloween costume take to make? Oh man, that was...
I don't know.
Probably like 40, 50 hours on that.
Yeah.
Megan, to answer your question it isn't about how early or how late you start performing arts, and really performing arts and acting, it's a rough career. Even I don't know when my expiration date hits on this. It's one of the things you have to go into as a passion. and community theater and local theater and any sort of performing arts you can get into is extremely fantastic. There's always deterrents for anything you want to follow as a passion. So, you just have to not let that drag you down. Yeah, it's a hangout sort of thing. We're just kind of hanging out for a bit and answering questions and all that chaos. Oh, hi, Marnie. Hello to you, Marnie. Mikey Dowling is a god, by the way. So we're both super excited for BlizzCon. We're going to be there for the latter half of Friday and possibly there a little bit Saturday if scheduling allows, I think. This kind of chaos grew here in a bit. What's up, Dagon? I remember wants more attention. Look at all the people right there. She wants all the attention. What's up? Weird. We will have fun at BlizzCon for you. We'll be thinking of you guys while we're out there, so don't you worry. The screen scroll is a little crazy. I'm trying to keep up, so don't worry if we don't get to your questions quickly. This is our first time really trying this, so
you guys should get the virtual ticket for BlizzCon.
That's true, actually.
If you're not familiar, get the virtual ticket because Michelle's hosting it, and like Malik and a bunch of other Geek Sundry people.
No Dagon.
So yeah.
No Dagon. Dagon's getting all in our.
You can get a lot of stuff for that.
Dagon. It's a good idea for us to get snacks and leave them on the table when we have a bird out.
Damn it, Dagon.
Do an MTV Cribs thing. Okay, you know what? Yeah, we'll do a little tour. You can get an idea of our space, our chaos, which we've cleaned up most of our Halloween mess. It was really, really bad when we were finishing our costumes. It was
looked like a bomb went off.
Yeah, it was a bomb of leather and craft foam and hot glue, and it was terrible. Well, here, we'll give you a little quick tour here for you guys. So we have, flip this around for you. This is our majestic front door. It's a door that is functional.
It's like an apartment door.
Yeah, this is a bunch of
like what it is.
A bunch of clustered stuff. There's my Dungeon Master bag, my bag of holding with my DM stuff on it. Yeah, I'll show you some of the minis here in a second. Marisha's awesome fuzzy slippers that are rainbow colored and she's had forever.
My fire staff's cooler.
Yeah, your fire staff. That is actually her flame staff that she's been training with. Oh, she's spinning it now. There you go. So that's our kind of living room area. This is some of one of our Avatar posters because we're avid Last Airbender fans.
Oh, and we still need to hang this guy up.
Oh yeah, we still have to hang this up too. This is a poster that we got at the recent art gallery, which is all the nations of Avatar: The Last Airbender.
It's like the paths that they went in.
Yeah, it breaks down. Yeah, every single path they took throughout the series is kind of outlined through little lines here, and which nation they went to and what events transpired there. It was pretty. Yeah, we're both pretty big fans of Avatar.
There's a lot of Avatar art.
Here. Like the art book there.
And the Appa poster.
We may have a problem.
The last Appa.
Yeah, I'm showing the Appa poster.
Oh yeah.
We're just having Elder Scrolls stuff in the background. This is our dining room. Which is, you saw House of Leaves in there. Awesome. House of Leaves is an amazing book. If you guys haven't checked it out yet, highly recommend it. This is Dagon's little play area. She's sure.
You want to do a trick, Dagon? You want to do a trick for the world? You're going to be famous. You're going to be famous. The world is watching. It is your stage right now. Okay, ready?
Let's watch some bird tricks.
Ready? Let's do your, all the light. Ready? So do your spin. Oh, you look already doing it. Spin. Spin one more time. And one more time. There you go. Good girl. Good girl. Okay, she's got to eat that, and then we'll come back. It'll be like tour and then bird trick.
And bird trick. Yeah, we'll let her know. Yeah, Dagon might be a guest on Critical Role if I can get her to stand still, but she'll probably TPK the party, so probably not the best
idea. Did you eat it already?
She already ate it.
Okay, so let's see. This first, come here. Give me a kiss.
Yeah, she's definitely splattered.
Hey, give me a kiss. Good girl. Now come on down here. Come on down here. Let's do your. Come on. Okay, ready? Do your. Come on.
She's excited.
Come on. Come on. Down here.
Yeah. Dagon has murdered some fruit recently and spattered.
Okay, ready? Push. Push. Come on. Keep go.
Dagon.
Go. Push. There you go. Good girl. Good girl.
She's a little flip she does too.
Good girl. Okay, let me get you a treat.
Yeah, as you can see, she's absolutely destroyed some fruit on the blinds here. It is a murder scene.
Don't show them the mess. Don't point out the
Well,
mess.
they already saw it.
Okay. Okay, Rennie, do you flip? Flip, there you go, flip. Good girl. Let's see the two of this. Go, ready. Here, go flip. One more time. Good girl. Good girl.
And that is the Impala from Loot Crate. Most of our Loot Crate toys end up going into bird toys. It's pretty rad.
You're a sweet girl. Sweet girl. There you go. There you go.
And so this is living room. We have our Chrono Trigger, Epoch poster, Batgirl poster, our Korra and Asami date poster. We got the art installation and our dark kitchen, which is a scary place where bad things happen. Like I try and cook. It's terrifying.
I'm gonna get some coffee.
All right, you make some coffee. I'll finish the tour here. So coming back here. Chrono Trigger's the best, yo.
This is one of my easel pads where I do all my battle maps on, and I have more inside this plastic thing here, or this cardboard that I order from Amazon. So that's where I work on all my little maps for it. Over here, I have my signed Overwatch poster. For those of you that guys are in the beta, I voice this guy here, McCree. Yeah, you've learned to hate the phrase "it's high noon." I can cook okay, not too great though. And this is my Thundercats poster, kind of remembrance of that awesome series I got to be a part of, where I played this dude there, Tigra. We have some Doctor Who posters and stuff up here. An artwork my friend Brittany had customized for me. It's me as the Tenant Doctor. Baker, my first Doctor. And then we got some Leon poster. This is a long story from a birthday party I did a couple years ago. It's currently housing most of the remnants of my Witcher costume, which is kind of scattered about right now. Let's see. Here is where a bunch of my War Machine to-be painted models currently reside. Let's see. So this actually tells some stuff there. I'm currently trying to finish up these horseback dudes from my Menoth army because they're a lot of pieces together. Here we have all my old Pathfinder books on the shelf. A lot of old 3.5 books. My Expedition to Castle Ravenloft book that I ran a campaign for about 2 years with friends. An old school Hook Horror and an old school Umbra Hulk, which Liam actually gave to me. He found online. Let's see. Some old 2.5 books. Then coming down here, I have a lot of my old 2nd edition books. The old Monsters Compendiums and the complete Druid's Handbook and all that fun stuff. I have the Encyclopedia Magica there. I have Exalted and some Deep Space stuff. Bunch of my old D&D characters and sheets. And then kits and stuff. I can't believe I'm showing you guys all of my mess, because this whole, as a note, this upstairs area is very messy. This is kind of where all the chaos happens, where I have my whole War Machine army contained in these boxes here, as well as Marisha's. My painting station, all my paints for my miniatures. Huge nerd. This is my audition booth, my tiny little audition booth. It's very dark up here, unfortunately. I don't really have much light over here. This is my computer. This is where most of my campaign planning happens. Let me see if I can show you guys a little fun here. It's my little loft. My red light on, make it look nice and scary. Oh, there we go. We got some light over here. So, give you a little. Those who've asked about how my DM notes work. I'm going to try to not spoil anything. There we go. Some quick little view. I'm going to try and obscure it so you don't see anything.
Here.
Are you showing this off now?
Yeah.
So this is where certain things might
It's so
happen.
like bright.
I know.
You can't see anything.
But it's kind of this is where I spend a lot of my time these days. But Anyway, you can't see any more
You
than
should
that.
just show them the sheer volume of folders, though, that you have.
Oh man, let me bring up my... This is my D&D folder, which is broken down into images, music, my old campaign, Dragonfall stuff there, official D&D files, one-shots that I've run. I have a bunch of different one-shots that I've won throughout the years for charity events or for friends. The game I ran for PewDiePie, which is an ongoing thing. My Witch Hunter notes, and I have a few updates to it I'm hoping to release soon. I've gotten some great feedback from the community at large, and I have some cool updated things, like I'm looking to update the hit dice from a D8 to a D10, just to make it a little more in line with other classes and as competitive, stuff like that. So, and then we have the Vox Machina folder, which is vast, and I have...
Oh, wait, hang on, start from the top.
Sorry, this is the
Vox Machina.
Vox Machina folder here, which has all the various sessions broke down there. And
Someone asked if your one-shots are like short stories or if they're like outlines.
they're outlines. They're outlines. Kind of the way I've set up a game is, I'll break it down into paragraph sections of certain encounters they can have and certain NPC discussions and bullet pointing important bits of information that they may or may not discuss, or they can relinquish if intimidated or persuaded to talk about it. And so I break it down kind of like a laid out flow chart, like for lack of a better term, a verbal flow chart in a way. There's no actual arrows, but I know if this happens, this will send me to this section. If this happens, it will send me to this section. And it looks like the scrawlings of a madman for the most part. So, but anyway, this chair has kept me company for many long hours. This is Marisha's station here.
Oh god, it's also all messy and crazy and piles of character notes and there are action figures. Some of our action figure shelves. Some Wet Hot American Summer art up there. And then that's some Chaos Theory episode of Community art, which is my favorite episode of Community that Matt got me, which I was pretty thrilled about, not gonna lie. Yeah.
And over here, this is my little trophy shelf here with a bunch of guys that I've had the pleasure of voicing over the years. This is my little memory section. It's kind of a fun little reminder. And if all this ends tomorrow for me, at least I have these to look back onto, which is kind of cool.
At least I have my action
At least I have my action figure. So anyway, that's have I worked with Troy Baker? Yeah, we've worked on a few projects together actually. He's a cool cat. Let's see. So that's our upstairs. This is where the office happens. And I guess the last thing I'll show you is my collection of giant minis that I have, and these are all things that the party may or may not fight at some point.
Also overlooks our bed, which is kind of daunting.
And it overlooks our bed. So let me get you some better light in here. So here is the large mini collection. Some of these you may have seen, some of these you may have not, but I'll give you a very strong idea of how, depending on how terrible I feel like destroying the party. Yeah, it was Orcus. You guys thought Mummy Holder was bad. So, there we go. That's our tour. Yeah, I have a problem. I did not paint them myself. Those all came pre-painted. Painting time, unfortunately, is not quite as present these days as it once was. So I leave it to people that do it for a living or come pre-painted, which a lot of them do. And thank you for that. But yeah, so I think some people may have missed some bird tricks. If you wanted to
want to do bird tricks again?
do a couple more bird tricks, people that just got here.
Hi, people who just got here.
People ask
Jennifer, I know.
No.
I know. For the books, I have an affinity for Yennefer. just because of the history involved. And while, you know, I pretty much stuck to Triss through the first 2 games, I had to go with Yennefer in 3 just to kind of complete the circle for me.
So this is Dagon. This is our little green sheet conure. She's a little handful. Oh yeah, you're making kissy noises. You're making kissy noises. Can you say pew pew? You don't speak on demand. That's the only thing. So do it. Hey baby girl. Okay, ready? Let's do your spin first. Okay, ready? Hang on, let me get a treat for you. Give me a treat. Oh yeah, excitement triangle.
I found out that Dagon likes chainmail when I was working on my costume, so. Oh, Dagon's pushing the car on her own.
just
Dagon, push the car.
got it. Hang on, I'm trying to get a treat out. Okay, ready? Okay, ready? Hang on. Let me get a fresh start here. Okay, ready? Push! Oh, that was a good one! Okay, ready? Hurry up and eat that. So there's more where that came from. Bird. Okay, ready? Okay, ready? First, can I have a kiss? You give me a kiss? Good girl. Okay, ready? Come here. Come here. Look, I got a new one. Come here. Okay, ready? Hang on, let's go over here. Ready? Flip. There you go. Do it again. And one more time for good measure. Good girl. Yeah, you're so cute. Let's do the one you have to go over to the cage for. I don't think anybody has seen yet. I need to teach you some new tricks.
Is Dagon going to be a monster on Critical Role soon? Oh god, I hope not. She likes to throw things off tables, so miniatures will die in a second.
She does. Okay, ready?
Yeah, it's not a display case more than it's where we keep our drinks for when we have guests over. We're not really, you know, drinkers much, but we like to be prepared in case we have company, so.
Okay, ready? Oh, you're doing
She's still
flip.
flipping. She's still flipping.
Okay, ready? Ring the bell. Ready? One more time. Ring the bell. Ring the bell. Okay, ready? Do a spin. Give me a kiss. Good girl.
There we go.
Good girl. There we go.
Marisha does not peek on my files. I make well sure of that, and I trust her. Besides, where's the fun?
You know, spoiling the fun for you. I'm pretty guarded, though. I feel bad whenever I'm working on battle maps or something, and she steps in the room. I'm hiding them very quickly, and she's like, "I'm not looking." I'm like, "I know, but can't help it." We haven't done clicker training. We've just kind of trained her through time. We thought maybe clicker training at some point, depending.
She doesn't seem to need it.
Yeah,
she's kind of smart enough to.
Can I do Rhymefang's voice for you?
See, Rhymefang's down here. A dragon, angry and hungry.
There you go. Alien tips one. Don't ever feel. No, you don't. You never bothers, Megan. Come on, we're happy to pick you up. Got a great community here, and a lot of people here to support you. Let's see. What is your opinion on Critical Role shipping? I mean, you know, it's a story. There are characters with emotional investment. I think it's natural that personalities within the game will, you know, find connections, whether within the group or with NPCs, and I think it's fine. I mean, we're all responsible adults, and it's kind of the cool aspect is these characters kind of have a life of their own, and you know, even the players don't quite know where it's going to go, and we'll see how things transpire. Not everything works out well. Some characters might pursue interest, some characters might just hold it in, some characters might find that it wasn't meant to be. You know, we'll see. I'm excited for Fallout 4, like you cannot even believe. The Fallout series has been one of my favorites since the first one on PC, even through the terrible RTS for PC. It wasn't terrible, but it wasn't great. But this one looks amazing, and there might be some familiar voices in it. What does that mean? Favorite character I've ever played? Oh man, I had a lot of fun with a dwarven fighter named Grimthorn, who I actually worked as an NPC in this campaign. As he's technically the manager of Vox Machina when it comes to group size fighting rings, if he ever shows up again. But he was a lot of fun. He was a one-eyed dwarf. I didn't say anything about Fallout. What? That's weird. Brotherhood of Steel, not good. I know. I have not narrated audiobooks yet. I have a lot of friends that do it. It seems cool. Someday, if I find a book that's interesting that passes my way, and I might consider it. Am I going to play Fallout 4? Oh, what am I going to play it on? I have a PS4 is my current system, so it's going to be a PS4, Fallout 4 for me. Posting BlizzCon panel schedule. I mean, the schedule's up online. I will be part of the Friday World of Warcraft live panel, which Liam will also be a part of. That's at 4:30, I think. So if you're going to BlizzCon or you're on the BlizzCon ticket, the digital ticket, you can see us on that. That'll be cool. So it should be fun. How often is too often for broken items like that? Many things. I generally try and avoid items like that'll break the game, unless you're ready to go. You're just playing like a one-off for fun, because then it can be silly. PC Master Race. I build my own computers for that reason, though. I like the casual couch aspect of a console, though, which is kind of nice.
Laura says that Travis and Laura say hi, and they wanted me to tell you that she said that they think you're weird.
They know this by now. I don't know why that's so surprising. Have I ever granted a wish to players? The players actually did. They were granted a wish by the Glabrezu that killed Pike before they knew it was a Glabrezu.
Yeah, you might actually
learn
about that soon.
Yeah, we just finished recording the audio for our previous backstory of Vox Machina's history.
Yeah, that backstory that everyone has been requesting for so long. Yeah, we finally. It took a long time. All right, that was 3 years worth, 2 years, two and a half years worth of art that had to be done.
Yeah, which Wendy Doodles did an amazing job on. So we're getting the audio recorded on that, and then I'm gonna edit it all together, and you guys will have a whole history of the game beforehand ready for you.
Yeah.
So yay.
Went into a studio and had Liam direct us and everything.
Yeah, it was rad.
Yeah, Liam's such a good director.
Especially when he's one of the few that understands the nerd talk like we do, so it makes it easy communication.
Yes. I like directors who can communicate in, 2 words or less.
We'd love to come over to the UK. That might be a possibility in the near future. We'll see. We'll see.
You just have to promise you're going to come out and see us if we come.
Yeah.
Make it worth our trip.
Any plans to direct anytime soon? I don't know. I mean, I've directed live action stuff. I've done a lot of web directing for web series and on camera. For voiceover, I mean, if an opportunity were to arise, I would like to give it a shot, but I'm not actively pursuing it. Partially because there's so many great directors out there that are friends of ours that
just because you're a good actor doesn't mean you're a good director, right?
Yeah, I could be really bad at it.
I'm not saying you're a bad director.
I don't know if I am, but
well, it's not true. I've seen you direct a live action.
Yeah, but we'll see. One day, maybe. We'll see if it happens. Any chance Ashley could Skype an episode? We want her to really badly, and she wants to really badly. It depends on her shoot schedule.
Yeah, the problem is she doesn't get her schedule until the Monday. She gets her schedules on Mondays each week, and sometimes it depends. If she's locked in, she's locked in, and they have a lot of night shoots apparently.
Yeah,
they shoot at night a lot.
Yeah, it makes sense. So.
Yeah, it makes sense. It's a spooky crime drama where crime only happens at night, don't you know?
Apparently.
Duh.
But apparently we can sneak Critical Role mugs onto it. Which is kind of cool. Says Matt, I'm not Tommy Wiseau. I appreciate that. Kyle in the chat also appreciates that, I'm sure.
Matt Abernathy says, how about that Critical Role mug?
Yeah, Matt Abernathy, look at that. Look at your
How
artwork
about
ending
that
up on
mug?
TV, huh?
So
How's that?
cool.
That was so cool.
So dope. She sent that to us in the text thread, and we were like, yes! Like foaming at the mouth.
Yeah, it was ridiculous.
It's good.
Slowly inserting into everyone's imaginations. Apparently, the writers of Blind Spot are fans of the show now too. So
yeah,
it's pretty cool.
Yeah, which is pretty dope. A lot of people in the industry watch the show. It freaks me out.
Oh yeah.
Well, I think it's because
Don't
there's a lot
pressure me.
of secret nerds in Hollywood that you just don't hear about.
Well, yeah, because I mean, when you think about it,
so much of nerd culture develops storytelling.
Yeah, that's the thing. All the people that grew up reading comic books and reading fantasy and sci-fi novels and watching cartoons, we become the storytellers of the next generation. And now that a lot of those kids that grew up in that that golden era of comics and cartoons are now the adults that are inheriting the industry.
Yeah.
So, you know, the nerds are truly inheriting it. It's kind of cool.
Yeah, I'm pretty. We've got some good ones in the mix.
I think
these
so.
days.
I think so.
It's good.
So you guys ever watch the web series Journey Quest? I saw a little bit of Journey Quest, partially because I was developing a show called Journey Quest long ago, and they got the name before I did. But that never came to fruition, so it's good they got it. Journey Quest is great. Gamers is a lot of fun. I'm very familiar with a lot of those projects, and those guys do some cool stuff.
What are we reading right now? Players' Handbooks. Fan mail.
Yeah, fan mail takes up a lot of our freeing time, actually.
what am I reading?
Talison's been organizing all the fan mail that we get into a big series of binders now, and so we can all check out the binders and read through everything. And
What did I read the other day? I felt like I read a comic or something. Look, so much happens that I don't remember what I've read. This is a problem.
no.
I can't remember things I'm reading. I don't know. I don't know anymore.
Yeah, stuff.
I forgot.
Thanks for promoting at SnafuCon. That's awesome. Bringing more into the fold. Thank you guys for supporting us. This whole community has been probably one of the most magical experiences I've had in my life. Just seeing all this come together around something as silly as our D&D game. But
Someone said they're reading Rat Queens. Heck yeah.
Awesome.
I'll read Rat Queens.
yeah,
Definitely a good one to read.
you guys
I've read it a few times.
you guys have been amazing. This week is Christmas, so we're gonna have a very long episode tomorrow night.
Yeah.
I have a 9 a.m. session the following morning. So
then we gotta be at BlizzDown.
then we gotta be at
Anaheim
BlizzCon.
and- Yeah, we work all the time. There's a reason why people are always wonder why like nothing happens throughout Christmas time in the entertainment industry, and people don't understand that the entertainment industry works 7 days a week, 14-hour days.
yeah,
So it shuts down during December. It's great. It's because we're always busy. Because you do your day jobs during the week. You always work for the studios, or if you have to have a day job, so Monday through Friday, you're working stuff that's, corporate or for the studios, and then on Saturdays and Sundays is when you do all of your personal projects.
yep,
So that's all the web series that you see when we shoot, like, Muzzled the Musical, which everyone should go check out, or whenever we've shot, School of Thrones or Batgirls. Like, you always do your personal projects that generally you're more invested in because they're your personal babies.
Yeah.
You shoot all those on the weekends, and those all include your friends who are also in the entertainment industry, all of your gaffer friends and your sound guy friends and your video friends who all kick in a favor because they're going to be working on the weekend.
yep.
But then that's why you hold a boom mic the next time they call you up.
Yep.
And they're like, hey
It's-
man,
It's
remember that
doing
time?
favors to gain favors. and
remember that time
get
I
stuff
shot
done
that thing for
cheaply.
you for free? Well, I'm calling it in. And you're like, okay.
Yeah. Real fast, the person who just bought Pillars of Eternity, have fun. It's an amazing isometric game.
Yes.
I voiced the sinister male protagonist as well as Aloth and Adair. So have fun having a party of me for the first couple hours of the game.
Yeah. It's funny when you talk to yourself.
Well, I do that anyway when no one's home,
It's
or when
true.
you're home too. You give me shit about that.
I have to clarify sometime. Are you talking to me, babe? No? Okay. Just
Yeah,
making
it's just
sure.
me. Let's see. Someone asked how important improv is to being a dungeon master or game master. It's important in the fact that a lot of the time you're having to improv. It's just kind of how the game works. Improv training, if you ever do like an improv class, it's hugely helpful. I found that it's an environment that helps you learn to make choices quickly, to justify circumstances, and then to keep that story going. It's actually funny how many people I've met in improv groups and classes that are huge nerds and love role-playing games because that's kind of where they got their taste for it. So I recommend it if you ever have the interest to do it because it's great. But it's not necessary. But improv, you'll have to do improv regardless. Cause,
It's fun to get it's good to get the basics, though.
yeah.
You don't have to take years of training to get the basics and the rules that will help tremendously.
If you could voice anyone, who would it be if you haven't already? Who would you want to voice?
Poison Ivy.
Poison Ivy. See, Poison Ivy right there. I'm probably going to have to stick with Sephiroth. He's my guy. If that remake is recasting. I am going to do whatever it takes.
Wait, what did you just say?
Nothing. What?
I was talking. No, I was literally thinking about being poison ivy, and I did not hear what you say. So what did you say?
Sephiroth.
Sephiroth? Oh,
That's the one, yeah.
oh.
You know that.
Oh, right. Yeah.
I own like 7 action figures. It's bad.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah. Poison Ivy is kind of a druid. It's a good point.
Yeah, she's my favorite comic book character. Pamela Isley.
Kefka is a better villain than Sephiroth. I'll give you that. I think Sephiroth's more my style, and he will give you this pair. Let's see. When are we coming to Canada? Whenever Canada wants to have us.
We were in Halifax, like a year ago?
A couple years ago, actually.
Oh, was that a couple years ago?
Yeah, we helped open an anime store out there, which was kind of funny.
I'm really bad at keeping track of timelines. I'm learning throughout this conversation.
So, Marisha, any ideas for a character after Keyleth? That's ominous.
Yeah, I think we all have our ideas of things we might play. There's also the thought of like, well, I would also kind of wait and see, because I was one of the last people to choose my character class in the group makeup that we have right now, because I had played D&D before. So I was like, well, let them pick first, because and then I'll fill where necessary. And so I ended up going with a druid, and I had played a druid before, and I think I talked about this a little bit in my interview, so I apologize if this is repeat information. I had played, or I don't know, maybe this was something that got cut out. We wrote a lot in those interviews, and they got cut way short. I had played a druid before in 4th edition D&D, that like a one-shot that you ran with a few friends of ours, and I hated it. It was awful. I hated the druid.
4th edition druid was kind of rough, yeah.
It was just, it was, they tried to be the jack of all trades, and you ended up just kind of getting like a watered down, like mediocre damage dealer who was only good situationally, and it was kind of frustrating. Like I don't know, because druids are supposed to be support class, but in 5th edition, since it was more of the World of Warcraft on paper approach, you were more limited, and that's not good for a support class, if that makes sense. So, it was rough, but I loved druids, the concept of druids. I just hated them in 4e, so I decided to make a druid in 5th edition, and thank God, or in Pathfinder. It is amazing.
Just for a second, I gotta go get the plug. My phone's running
Oh,
out of
is
battery.
your phone dying? Yeah. So,
Takes up power, apparently.
yeah, there. Oh God, and I'm dropping the phone.
That's not gonna work.
So yeah, I mean, it kind of depends, because I would want to see, I'd want to see what other people make, but I have an idea for a bard.
We're having to move
I'll
over
say that.
here because my phone's out of battery almost. So
I have
there we go.
a super fun bard that would be totally different than Keyleth. And totally different than Scanlan. Yeah. Not like Scanlan at all.
Scanlan is the most Sokka of Vox Machina. Yeah, I'd probably get him in that, definitely.
I love
Sokka's the best.
Yeah.
Hello, Chico State. Someone asked earlier, 2nd edition D&D, best version. I played 2nd edition for a long time, and there are a lot of things about 2nd edition I like. The kind of the broad customization, and it laid the groundwork for a lot of what makes D&D for me these days. The whole THAC0 armor class system to me, that was my first experience, so it was all I knew. But after that, and playing many other systems, I look back on it and I'm like, that was designed for people who like that type of math, and I'm not one of them. So I much prefer the later versions, later systems for armor class and hitting. So I understood THAC0. I thought I understood THAC0 best I could. What did we think of the Airbender movie, the M. Night Shyamalan one? Oh, this is yeah. Like, you did that. That's your fault.
God, visceral reaction. God.
See, even Dagon hates it.
Even Dagon hates it. Is that right, Dagon? I know.
I know.
It was so sad. What sucks about it is that all you had to do was make it live action. That's all you had to do.
No.
It was already good. Why did you try and fucking... asshole.
Yeah.
Asshole.
So, we don't really have an opinion. Legend of Korra or Last Airbender?
That's hard.
It's hard to compare. I like them both for different reasons.
I mean, Airbender's hard to beat just because it was first, and it kind of like is what everyone connected on.
That live action film made me a flaccid town, says Boner Town.
Oh, I know.
Well
Boner
played.
Town, I know.
Well played.
It was awful. Yeah, I don't know. I like both for different reasons, and I'm really glad that they didn't try to just redo Airbender with Korra.
Yeah,
It was a totally different story. It wasn't a traveling story.
It matured with the audience too, which I thought was really cool.
With the audience, and I think I like how they tackled different things.
The different social themes and even relationship themes. It was much.
Well, they set up they set up in Airbender by like breaking the monolith, and there is no such thing as good and evil. There's good and evil on both sides, and it's way more complicated than that. And then in Korra, like with Avatar, they established that this one person could bring around balance, and then with Korra, they basically destroyed all of their philosophies.
All their falafels. Every single falafel was destroyed. It was terrifying.
The
Falafel Nation was no more.
The lamb falafels. It was awful. So they destroyed all the falafels, and I liked how they said, look, this is one way of thinking and looking at the world with Airbender. And then with Korra, they just established, but there's also a whole other way to look at the world, and there's flaws on every side, and there's different ways to look at things, and not one philosophy is right or wrong.
Yeah.
So I love Brian Konietzko and Michael DiMartino so much.
As long as you aren't trying to sell falafels or cabbages.
My cabbages! Yeah.
Let's see what other good questions we got here for you folks. We're hanging here for a little while longer and chat with you guys for a bit. What would you play if I weren't the DM? That's a tough question. I mean, I love the Bard class, and I think it's gotten a lot of shit over the years. A lot of people are like, Bard, who would play a Bard? I think Bards are fantastic. I think I mentioned in Q&A before. I have this idea for a Bard that conducts the battlefield, like an orchestra. So like his spell casting and his buffs and bonuses to allies is him essentially just conducting. Like when an enemy gets hit by a friend's blow, you hear a cymbal crash, and that kind of a feeling where he just finds a high point and starts conducting the whole battle. I think would be kind of a fun theme for it. So that's probably where I'd go with it. If not, some sort of caster. It would have to be a caster there. Let's see, Exalt type. For those Exalted fans out there, I tend to go Dawn cast. I know it's kind of cheesy, but I like just big tough dude with big sword, because it was fun to make crazy combos with that. Let's see. Harder thing for you. What is the hardest thing for you with playing a conflicted character? This would be a good question for you.
Me playing a conflicted character?
Maybe, yeah.
It's tough because Keyleth has the moral underlying drive, and she knows she has to, one, do good things for her reputation, and two, Keyleth sometimes feels like she's the only one who recognizes that we are getting, at this point, like especially the way we react, the way we act with peasants or people, just normal people who aren't as skilled and as powerful as us, we're like God stepping on an anthill sometimes, and I don't think a lot of the other people in Vox Machina think of it that way necessarily. So Keyleth, one, has this extreme loyalty. She's loyal all around. She's loyal at her best, and she's loyal at her worst. So she's loyal to the point where Vox Machina has been there with her the whole way, and she doesn't want to necessarily abandon them or walk away just because of a few missteps, perchance.
However, she is also loyal to the fact that she has to complete her Aramente, and that she does have this responsibility that she cannot shake. I mean, she can, but the Arashari has now been without a headmaster for 2 generations. What?
No, it was someone's comment. All adventurers are murder hobos. Is pretty great. Oh man, dropping Keyleth into Dark Sun would be the worst thing ever. You don't want to go to Dark Sun campaign. It's bad. It's like no magic, desolate wasteland. You'd hate it. Let's see. Who are you starstruck by? It's interesting. In this industry, you meet a lot of people that have, big followings or you admire a lot. And, we have a lot of friends, and we've worked with a lot of people you would think would just make you starstruck, but, you get to their nerd core. Even Vin Diesel, I wasn't terribly starstruck once we started talking about nerd shit and got really deep into second edition, third-party character builds and books, and I can confirm he is like legit deep cut nerd. I wasn't sure at first, but we had an extensive conversation about it after we did the game. So I got starstruck when I first met Jim Cummings.
Oh yeah,
Jim Cummings.
I got starstruck when I first met D. Bradley Baker. It's always the people you don't expect. It's not like the most famous people. It's the people who like impacted you the most. Yeah,
because Jim Cummings, I grew up listening to him as Darkwing Duck. I grew up listening to him, as Pete, and then also as Minsk in Baldur's Gate. So when I went into a session for Thundercats and he was recording with us that day, I wasn't expecting it, and I just was a babbling mess and couldn't function. And even at the end of the session, I was like, "Hi, I liked your work in Baldur's Gate as Minsk," and it took him a second to be like, "What is? Wow, that's obscure." And I was like, "Yeah, I gotta go."
Like, oh, that was like fucking. I don't remember that shit, man. I recorded 2 sessions on that shit 20 years ago.
It's Minsk and Boo, come on. Yeah. I mean, as far as someone also asked if we have future guests lined up, like we have a lot of people who've inquired about being guests. We have a list. One of the things that we all agreed upon early on was we don't want to have guests too often because it's
not a guesty show.
Yeah, the story is Vox Machina, and Vox Machina's story should be the focus going forward. And occasionally we'll have guests in to connect, do a few sessions with it, maybe, because it is a living, breathing world. And so, yeah, Jen Hale's exhibited interest. We've talked to Steve about it, though he's really nervous about it, which is funny.
I'm so nervous.
Hardwick was supposed to be a guest when we did our first run, but unfortunately...
As well
as Ashley Birch, but Chris was on tour at the time and couldn't make it, so he hopes to come back and be a guest at some point in the future. Ashley Birch we definitely want to have on. Mm-hmm. She's great. We have a number of folks lined up in the future that we'll have in.
Not to mention the fact Will and Mary are like foaming at the mouth to come back.
I know.
They're gonna lobotomize themselves to try and just erase the joy that they had getting it right now.
It's been so much fun to
give it back to them.
It's been so much fun to introduce the game to people who've never had the opportunity to play or see how it's really played, and people that are like, "Oh yeah, Dungeons and Dragons, that's weird." Then they watch an episode. I know, Dagon, I agree. And they watch an episode and they suddenly, it's just improv and communal storytelling and being silly with your friends and yeah, that's all it is. And having people get the bug and get really addicted to it. Mary's chafing at the bit. It's kind of funny. I'm like, no, there'll be a time, but we have other guests to get to, and even those will be sporadic. So we'll see how it goes out. Let's see what else. Is D&D canon? D&D's canon to Critical Role. For those who are paying attention, it took place in Braunbog within the Dreamseep Marshlands. The Dreamseep Marshlands are on Taldore. They are south of where most of the action has happened. They are east of Singorn, the dwarven town where Vex and Vax's father is from. So in theory, D&D's is canon pre-stream. Pre-stream, post-first campaign, and there was a 6-month time break between after they finished saving Iman and then picked up on Kraghammer.
Pre-stream sounds like something you need to go get checked out.
Yeah, I'm having... everything was fine, then I started to pre-stream, and I got really worried, and I
have this
had to go to the
Vin
doctor.
Diesel pre-stream, it's bad.
Oh, man. I should get that looked at. So yeah, that's the story there.
Dagon shirts now. People want Dagon shirts.
People want Dagon.
I want a Dagon shirt.
For those who aren't familiar, Dagon, Marisha named Dagon when we got her the bird. We named her, but it was your idea.
Was it?
Yeah, because we were trying to come up with something for it. And Dagon stemmed from... We had a list, but Dagon is both a reference to the Mesopotamian sea god Dagon / the H.P. Lovecraft old one Dagon, undersea old one / Mehrunes Dagon from the Elder Scrolls series. So it was just too many awesome references to not choose it. I think at that point.
I think the most like if you had to rank them, what she's named after like first, I'd say the old god, H.P. Lovecraft Dagon.
Yeah, probably like in the whole Innsmouth story.
Yeah.
Shadow over Innsmouth.
Because she is a little old god. She
destroys stuff.
She has the attitude, yeah. She crushes everything. Yeah. Yes.
And Megan, you actually sent us the Wizards and Fairies books, so thank you very much. We do have those, so thank you. That's awesome. You ever think people would be begging to be on Critical Role? No. It's the weirdest thing. Yeah.
It's so weird that people are watching us play D&D.
I know. It's cool. It's
We're like, look guys, we're like, if after like 6 episodes and this isn't working out, then
we'll just go back to our
regular. It was a fun ride, and we'll just go back to playing, and that'll be it.
Yeah, it's a decent experiment.
It'll be a fun experiment.
I can't even. I'm still kind of beside myself.
It's weird. It was very hard to be in character last session.
Yeah, that was intense.
After time went on, like after you kind of have to like warm up. There's like a warm up period, and then after a while, I was able to kind of get past it. Although fucking Sam couldn't look at him the whole damn time.
The mustache was bad.
I was having a hard time there for a minute.
Well, will my hair get longer than Marisha's? No, not if I have anything to say about that. This is too long for me, to be honest. I have to keep it long because we're shooting the 5th and final Mythica film in December, and they want him to be.
Trim it.
I might get it trimmed a little bit. They want it long for the character Zorlok, for the Necromancer, and
the bangs trimmed a little bit.
I know I might.
So that like.
So I don't like a grunge band in 1991. There's a cool grunge band. Look, I had long hair most of my life. When I was in high school, my hair went to my lower back, so I've had long hair for a bit. But I like it shorter now. I like it kind of the length that I had it when we first started streaming. That was kind of the preference I have, so it might go back to closer to that. Keith Urban hair. I've actually had 2 people in bars ask me if I was Keith Urban, and I was like, "Oh, thank you. I do not have that kind of money."
I do not have. I love how you were flattered by his money.
No.
Oh, thanks.
I was just like, it was like a tiny bar.
Not that kind of money, but thank you.
Yeah, no,
Thank you.
I'm living off ramen.
Like,
I have a tiny apartment in Hollywood.
Most people are like, oh, thank you. I don't have his abs or his bulge or like his cowboy hats. Not like, oh, thank you. Like, I don't have his money, but thank you.
Yeah, well, there's that too. King Grog's beard crit. Oh, I think it's already critted our hearts.
Didn't he roll he rolled a 0-0, right? So it's kind of like critting on a beard roll.
He did, but it was a negative beard because he wanted to roll a lower number on a percentage dice. So 0-0 was bad for him.
Or did he roll like a 1 though? Like a 1? It's like something. Didn't he roll the lowest number?
He rolled the highest. He rolled a 0-0, which was usually a really crazy thing, but not good for that particular
But I thought
roll.
he also rolled really low at one point.
He may have. Beard checks are real, guys. He did roll a 1. See, you're right. Vox not gonna have a chance to hang outside of crit roll these days. I'm
not drunk, by the way. This is just how I am all the time. I'm just at home and relaxed. But thank you for thinking I'm drunk.
Yeah. How about you have the new Chrono Trigger cinematic soundtrack? If it is the 3-part remix soundtrack that's really, really good, then yes, and I have that. If not, send me a tweet. I'd love to hear it because the Chrono Trigger soundtrack is one of my favorites ever. Some of the finest work that Nobuo Uematsu and Yasunori Masuda ever did. Like just barely edging out Xenogears from Masuda's work, in my opinion. But that's a hard thing to do because that's an amazing soundtrack. Someone asked if you're drunk. Yeah, apparently. We come to a con in Manila. If a convention was interested in having us and would, then yeah, they'd have to contact us about time and appearances, make sure that we could all make it. Scheduling is the only difficult thing. So we're having to schedule, so many people at once. But if possible, that would be awesome. We love to travel and meet people all over the place. So, any other systems we would like to introduce? Yeah, I mean, if when Vox Machina's adventure comes to a close, which based on the pace of things, it could be a year and a half if we do the whole campaign and things don't go horribly belly up in the meantime. Then their adventures will complete. They'll go off into Legend, and we'll start a new game. If we want to, we can continue D&D, or I'd like to pull in possibly, if not, maybe like Deadlands would be fun. If those aren't familiar with Deadlands, it's one of my favorite systems. That one's really cool. Exalted would be interesting. Yeah, we have some ideas and some thoughts.
It's also the Iron Kingdoms RPG.
There is Iron Kingdoms RPG, which looks pretty detailed. I have to look deeper into that before I can agree if I like the system or not. But,
right.
But it's a pretty world, at the very least. How do you stay excited about DMing? Do I ever get bored with it? No. I mean, there's pressure. I don't get bored with it because I'm so invested in the world and kind of how the players are interacting with it that I get excited trying to figure out how the world is reacting to their choices and what things are happening in the world that they're not even involved with. There are some things that they may completely missed early on that have causing a butterfly effect later on down the road. And there are things happening all over the world that they're not even touching that may eventually come to fruition with them. So, that kind of thing is kind of cool. So it keeps me interested. On Deadlands, I haven't played the D20 Deadlands. I've only played the first edition with like the poker cards and the fate chip and stuff like that. And I thought that was really cool. Paranoia would be fun too. It'd be a short campaign. Paranoia would be a lot of fun. And I think they're doing a new edition based on Kickstarter a few years ago. So
maybe that can be our intermission campaign. Just play a really short
a
campaign.
really
of
short
Paranoia.
Paranoia. Oh, that'd be so much
3
fun.
weeks of Paranoia.
You guys just plotting to kill each other the whole time. It'd be so great. Yeah, old Deadlands is best Deadlands, definitely. Rogue Halfling, good idea. Rogue Halfling's great idea.
That's like the classic,
man.
rogue build, man. Yeah. That's like some Bilbo Baggins shit right there.
This is a good question. Do you ever switch off? Occasionally, in the right place, in the right time.
Do we ever what?
Switch off as far as like DMing and like thinking of the world. I do. I try and detach the best as I can, but whenever I'm left alone and it's quiet,
funny.
My brain will go back to thinking about story.
Yeah.
So, sorry. Boom, 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 boom.
No.
Boom, boom,
The answer to that's no.
Boom, boom, boom. Sorry. What's it like living in LA? Very dry.
Very expensive.
Yeah, it's pricey out here. But it's nice because you have a lot of topography nearby, and it's where the industry is for us. I do miss the rain. I'm very much a rain-oriented person.
I like LA. The people are chill.
Yeah.
It's true what they say.
Yeah. I like it here. I really do.
I
I
do
have
too.
a hard time living elsewhere.
I really like New York and I really like Los Angeles, but it's hard to compare them. They're apples and oranges. But
Yeah.
they might be my 2 favorite cities.
It's true.
I do love New York, though.
New York is really
God,
nice. I love visiting New
New
York. I don't know if I could live there.
People are just badasses in New York. Oh, I love it so much.
She likes New York.
I lived in New York for a short amount of time, so I've got...
DM
got
soundtrack? DM soundtrack is a combination of many things. A lot of great tracks I pulled from Midnight Syndicate, which does great RPG music. Some great tracks from Kevin MacLeod, who has a site called Incomptech, which is a bunch of royalty-free music. Great soundtrack stuff there. The whole Elder Scrolls series is great music. Pillars of Eternity is great music. You can even pull from like the old Conan soundtracks. Like really anything you want to incorporate that you think is good, thematic, and doesn't have like too much dynamic to it, unless it's a battle sequence, is great. Preferably without lyrics, because that can be distracting for the players. But unless it's like Dragon Force and it's a boss battle, then you can have fun with it. But yeah, stuff like that's pretty fun. Which doctor would you want to DM for? Huh. Tenet all the way. Oh man, that'd be awesome. I have to put him on the list. Stephen Colbert's the next target. We got Vin Diesel now, somehow, which I want to get back on. We'll see if we can actually get him on for an actual game of D&D. I don't know if it'll happen, but it would be fun to have him on Critical Role for more than a half an hour.
Colbert? Or Vin
No,
Diesel?
having Vin Diesel back
yeah.
on. Colbert I definitely want to have on, but he has a lot of free time now with his late night show.
Yeah, totally. Someone was asking where we're from originally.
You want to answer that first?
I'm originally from Kentucky. Just south of Louisville, Kentucky. Yeah. A little town called Mount Washington.
Boom. I'm originally from Palm Beach, Florida. Born there, grew up till I was about 9. And then my family moved out to Los Angeles then. And so I've been there ever since. Someone's asking Burning Man camp. We camped with post-nuclear family. Historically at around 4:30 and E, 4:30 and D. This year we were actually on B. We were 4:15 and B. We were getting closer to the Esplanade, which is crazy. But post-nuclear family, if you're a burner and you're out doing the thing in the desert next year, we'll definitely be with post-nuke. Come stop by, have a drink, chill and chat. We actually had a critter come out and meet us this year, which was really cool. I wasn't expecting that. So
see, all the people from Kentucky represent Kentucky.
Have you been in New Zealand? We actually were just there in July, both me and Marisha, for our first time.
Yeah.
We got to, we were in Wellington for the Armageddon Expo. Then we drove up the coast, went to Rotorua, and then we stayed in Auckland, and then slept from there. So New Zealand was great.
Yeah. Yeah.
Good. What were we going to say?
Nothing.
Oh. Have you been to Australia? Not yet. We'd love to.
That'd be awesome.
That would be cool. Australia's a cool place.
I hear there's a lot of badasses in Australia too.
Yeah, we did get to see Weta Workshop when we were in New Zealand. They gave us a tour, and we got to see a bunch of the Warcraft stuff they've been working on. It looks badass. So, let's see.
Favorite deity?
Favorite deity?
Desna.
Desna's a fun one.
Yes, I had a dwarf cleric who was a luck cleric, and she worshipped Desna.
Yep.
And
Pathfinder deities.
Yes.
For me, I do have
Belinda.
I do have a favorite deity. I'm not going to mention it because it might come up in the story soon. So, no spoilers. As if I was a woman with curly blonde hair, that would make sense.
Spoilers.
He'll want to represent nice. We excited for the World of Warcraft trailer coming on Friday? Hell yes. We got to see the preview last year at BlizzCon, and it just looks amazing.
I'm assuming they're going to show more stuff, right?
They're showing the actual official trailer
The full trailer?
on Friday, so we'll hopefully see that there.
Dope.
See. Marisha, do your dwarven accent. Yes, Marisha, please do your dwarven accent.
Well, that was like my Swedish accent for my foreign dwarf.
That's one of my favorite moments.
Oh, hello.
Oh, hello.
I'm glad everyone enjoyed this so much.
The fact that some
people with it was so dumb.
They put it on Dub Smash.
Hello.
We have fans dub smashing that moment. That made me so happy. You guys are awesome.
Hi, Sweden.
Any opportunities to voice for Sailor Moon Crystal? Yeah, actually, I did a little bit of work on that as Prince Demand.
That audition did not get sent my way.
Oh no,
that's one I'm slightly bitter about. I don't want to talk about it.
Okay, she doesn't want to talk about it. How does viewership affect the challenges at the party? They really don't. I try and keep the game whatever it would be, regardless of even if it was a show or not. So I'm apologizing in advance if anyone in the game dies. I mean, it will probably happen at some point, and I'm sorry in advance. Worst own character death? Oh man, I had a character that was one of the probably the worst. Was being smashed by a gray render. It was 3rd edition. This is my characters. I had a character who was like just bludgeoned to death over and over again by a gray render until he was just a pile of red mush. That was pretty rough. Player deaths go. Did have a character in a Ravenloft campaign that I ran who had a blood mite, like a thick kind of weird insecty blood mite in one of the gardens up in top of the tower, that had forced itself down her character's throat into her belly, alien style, and began to manifest, and she began to transform into a blood tree, and the party couldn't stop it in time, and so her body kind of burst and then solidified into this horrible mockery of her human form, but instead was a tree of kind of like blood and red and brown color, and it was pretty awful.
Well, that's fucked up.
Ravenloft's fucked up, yo. Bad stuff
I'm
happens.
not sure if I've ever heard that story.
Yeah.
Wait, who was that? Was that...
That was Cat Steele's character.
I was gonna say, was that Cat
That was
Steele's
Cat Steele.
character?
She was a blood maggot, so it was a good transition.
I don't know if I've ever heard that
Yeah,
story.
that one was bad.
That's fucked up. Yep.
Do I ship Vaxleth? I am completely impartial to any characters in the game. We've been laughing at the artwork that's been coming out of it, and it's a very strange thing. It's one thing to have like players in your game, it's another to have an entire audience that is then, you know, writing their own awesome fanfic and like investing themselves in these possible relationships. And it's been, I watched Marisha blush quite a few times when some of this art pops up in the stories. It's adorable.
Yeah, it's a little weird.
Yeah. In terms of story arcs, how does the Briarwoods rank in your time as a DM? I'm pretty proud of it. We're still just getting under the surface on this one. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah, rebellion. I'm kind of stoked about this. What was that?
Vax is bi, by the way. There have been some insinuations that he
They might be
does not
bi-curious.
discriminate. Yeah,
Yep.
he loves people.
Both of the twins have kind of alluded to that. If
Yeah.
people have paid attention, which I think is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Remember that time you almost disintegrated Pike, you monster? That wasn't me. That was a beholder. That's what they do. You suck.
Yeah, you did almost do that, though.
You guys made it out of there. Survived.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
You
I'm
did.
kind of surprised we did, to be totally honest. I thought that was going to go way worse than it did.
Are your critical role roles like your other acting jobs, or is it more personal, like a second skin? I'd say it's far more personal.
Oh, yeah, way more personal.
Yeah, acting is, you know, you're invested in it, but it's still a performance. It's still a construction. It's still you being part of a grand scheme of a storytelling engine. You know, there are writers, producers, directors. You're just a part of a tapestry. For our game, you know, every character, every performance comes from the heart and is purely created by that individual on the spot. And so it's.
And we wrote our backstories, and we've now been with these characters for like 3.5 years, 4
Yeah.
years, a long time.
Yeah.
So
It's much more personal. It's much more from the heart, and I wouldn't consider it acting in a weird way. It is role playing. It's inhabiting these personas.
yeah, like sometimes you're equally surprised by the choice that your character made, because at this point it's so inherent. You're just kind of acting symbiotically, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So sometimes I'll do something, I'll be like, Keyleth would do this, and I can pretty much like that triggers almost instantly in the moments. Like for example, when Percy yelled, "Your soul is now forfeit," and so my reaction was to drop my 5th level anti-life concentration spell shield and drop my turn and take my turn to just stare at him.
Because what the hell?
Because what the hell? That's something that I just did, like, automatically, because that's what Keyleth would do, and she's a more perceptive person, way more perceptive than some even give her credit for. And, but even after I did that, I was kind of like, oh, shit. I just dropped my turn to do nothing. And, like, it kind of surprised me in a weird way, because you're just kind of acting all at the same time, if that makes sense.
Marisha, you have to pick one party member to die in order to save the rest. You can't pick yourself.
That's not fair. At fucking all.
Well, you think about that. Did see a question that someone asked if...
Does trinket count?
No, trinket doesn't count. Someone asked if D&D helped with voiceover. For me, tremendously. I think playing role-playing games for me and dungeon mastering helped me kind of explore my range as a performer, both vocally and just personality-wise, having to jump in and out so quickly. And I can say that there are a lot of characters that I've voiced in games and cartoons that I auditioned with an NPC in mind that I'd created for a previous D&D game. So yeah, there were a lot of D&D helped get me where I am today. I have a lot to thank for role-playing games. Dagon! Our bird is unhappy that we're talking. Well, for those who have to leave, we'll have a few more minutes here, and then we're probably going to have to close up here. But we'll try and do this more often now that we have a little more time coming up. But yeah, we'll get like 10 more minutes of questions.
To answer that previous fucked up question, maybe it depends. Like Vax in a storyline element, like if Vax was sacrificing himself to save me, that might be cool. Or if it was like a party save, maybe Grog, because I think Grog would appreciate dying heroically and bloodily in battle.
There is that.
How's that? Does that count? But
Yeah,
other than that, it's a fucked up question.
It's a very fucked up
I don't want
question.
any of them to die.
Yeah.
It's going to be awful. It's going to be... I hope everyone realizes how awful it's going to be. Like, we're going to be sobbing piles of mess. Like, just heaps of sad depression whenever if one of us actually dies. Like, it's going to be an utter breakdown. It's not going to be good. It's not going to be good at all. It's like I said, but it's like...
Would I ever DM with Bird on my shoulder? I have DM'd with Dagon on my shoulder when we were playing privately. It's a bad idea because Dagon likes to chew on my ear, and it kind of throws the
she
moment.
likes to be where the action is. She likes to be where your hands are doing things.
Yep, or on your
it's
face, which is a problem. Let's see, a few more questions in here from folks. Oh, I'm glad you could join us on your shift, bud. Thanks for coming and hanging out for a bit. There will be an in-game in-character outro for Tiberius coming up when they return to the keep too, to kind of show respect for the character and give him a nice into the sunset type exit. So that will be coming. Don't worry. What NPC is most like real life Matt? I don't know. That's a tough one. I mean, there are probably moments of Gilmore that peek through here and there on my like more over the top silliness. God, I love Gilmore as a character. He's so much fun. Very deep NPC. You guys have seen some fun elements of him, but he's got a lot going on. In a weird way, probably Allura. Allura, outside of the voice, Allura is probably closest to my mindset and my morality and outlook on life, I think.
Yeah.
I think Allura is probably the one I identify with.
Yeah, before that she's almost like your closest Mary Sue.
Yeah.
If you had one.
Although Keem is probably my favorite NPC personality-wise. She's fun to play. She's fiery and can
I still
hold her
feel
own.
a little bit guilty about making Kima cry.
Why? You guys had some conflict, yo.
I just
The Black Powder Man for show. Yeah. It's more my style. Favorite video game?
My go-to one that I say if I had a gun to my head is Tomb Raider.
There you go.
OG Tomb Raider.
That's fun.
PlayStation era.
Boom. I'm gonna have to probably say a tie between Final Fantasy VI and Chrono Trigger for me. It's like a little bit of Breath of Fire 2 bleeding in. That era of gaming for me was so important, and those ones were phenomenal. So yeah, probably have to go with those. Someone asked how long you've been dating. We're pushing on 4.5 years now, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah. So 4.5 years coming up this December.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yay.
That's cool. It's fun. It's been a great adventure so far. Any tips for anyone who wants to be a DM? Prepare best you can, and then prepare to throw it out the window.
Someone said Corporal Wedding.
Oh, there have been themed discussions. What? What are you? Don't glare at me. Oh God. I know. But
although I was 100% serious when I said I want Travis to be our flower girl. Not dressed in like a dress or anything.
But throwing the dust of traces behind him like the flower girl?
Yeah.
That's kind of adorable.
I legitimately want that. That's going to be a thing. I'm not going to have flower petals. I'm going to have Travis throwing powdered glitter over his shoulder as dust of tracelessness.
This is while DMing anything.
You've got to hide the tracks of the wedding party.
Exactly. See? That's pretty funny, actually.
Yeah.
Oh, congratulations to you and your fiance. That's awesome, guys.
Oh, yay! Oh, we have a few critter couples who have spawned, too. A few Critical Role couples. We've heard rumor. We heard it, like, New York and stuff. Just pretty thrilled about that. Playing matchmaker up in her.
Is California dangerous or really fun to live in?
It's fine.
It's
no more dangerous than anywhere else.
Yeah, it depends on where you live. Like, there are some areas in LA that maybe is a little less safe than others.
Like any city.
Like any city. So, but
California actually is pretty well behaved.
Yeah.
We've got a pretty low crime rate comparatively.
Yeah, I love it out here. I really do.
When you start decriminalizing marijuana and stuff like that, it's crazy how the crime numbers drop when
imagine that.
People with weed aren't criminals anymore.
Yeah. So as long as you're careful with where you're living and making sure it's an environment that you're cool living with is kind of cool. Someone asked, what moment in the game made me want to cry as a DM? Pike's death. That was definitely one of the most emotional points in the game. Vax's near death during the Briarwood encounter got very, very close to me breaking. In character as Kima, there were a couple of moments where I got really emotionally invested in her moment. So I mean, it can happen. Depends. Yeah. Role-playing games are so interesting.
It hits all the feelsies. It's weird how sometimes it's like the chat goes away. Tears when Keyleth dies. Don't say that.
Ooh, FF6. Who are your primary four? My primary four are Sabin and Edgar, because gotta have the brothers, and toolset's pretty good, and Sabin's just overpowered anyway. Cyan and Gogo. Gogo with all the rest of their powers. It's a really broken team. And then everyone with economizers, and Sabin with the Genji glove, and just, way too many attacks. It's stupid. Anything I DM'd that didn't end up happening that I look forward to? Yeah, that happens all the time. There are a lot of things that never happen in the game, but I don't say them because depending on the activities they do, they might come up again later. As many DMs may know, just because something doesn't happen in the game doesn't mean you can't incorporate it down the road, because the world is a living, breathing place, and maybe it's just advanced on its own. So,
someone said, "How much?" Oh, thanks, person who thinks Keyleth is an awesome character.
Terra Celeste, also good choices.
Someone asked how much time has passed in game since we started the campaign.
Since you started the campaign, let's see.
It's like 2-ish years?
It's been about 1.5 to 2 years, probably. Probably like 1 year and 8 months.
Okay.
Since you all first had your first adventure and still been.
Going on 2 years and being together as a team?
Yeah. So there was that kind of investment there.
But playing for 3.5.
Playing for 3.5, yeah.
Makes sense.
Ever cosplay as Loki? Technically, in an upcoming Rocket Jump Hulu short, written and directed by Ashley Birch. It's not what you think.
It's not what you think.
Not what you think. It's anyway. Well, we have time for a couple more questions, and we're probably going to have to get to work, and I have to finish preparing for tomorrow's game.
He's always writing.
Always. Was Clarota evil because the brain had not fully woken up from that creature's control? Clarota, like pretty much any other illithid, is inherently an evil entity that is considers itself superior over all other races. Clarota's existence with the party was defined by its need for survival, and him understanding that keeping in good terms with them was going to help maintain its survival, help possibly free its race from the oppression of Kavarn, and possibly be enough of a gift once he achieved that to be reassembled into his people, which happened. I mean, depending on the circumstances and depending on how heavily they were able to maybe talk with him and work with him beforehand, there may have been a very, very, very very faint possibility of either calling a truce with him or even having him join their side, but that would have been ridiculous. So it didn't really come to pass. Clorida's an evil fuck. Sorry, guys.
Someone asked what our couple name was, if it was Matisha or Marishat.
I mean, Matisha sounds better, which is why we both kind of prefer Marishat. Because it's just abrasive and awful.
I really like Marishat. I think it's way funnier.
Let's see. I think we could probably take one more question from you guys. You pick this one, Marisha. One more question, and then we gotta get going. But we'll try and do this more often with you guys, because it's fun.
So far, the one that I like the best is favorite candy, just because it's kind of the silliest.
Sure. Favorite candy.
Favorite candy. Favorite candy. I don't know. I didn't have like a planned answer. What's your favorite candy?
You chose the question and have an answer?
Well,
My favorite...
I really like sugar.
I know you do. You have the metabolism for it. I do not have that luxury. My favorite candy would be probably all caramel Milky Ways. That's dangerous with a tall glass of milk. That is some dangerous stuff. That's like a delicacy to me. Universal candies, I go with gummies, but that's like chocolate and caramel is real dangerous to me.
What do I like? I like so much stuff. I also like caramellos and Reese's and gummies.
Does Marisha have Oreos at the bedside? Occasionally.
Oh, I do like Oreos, and I like ice cream.
She likes candy, I think is her answer.
I like candy. I like candy. Sour Patch Kids.
Darolos.
Darolos. I love
That's
Rolos. York Peppermint Patties. Those are like some of my favorites off the top of my head. Like if I'm in store, I'll be like, ooh, this. Like those things.
Yeah, that's a good one.
But I really
just
like
whatever's in front of you.
Like I'm like Halloween's one of the Halloweens and one of the holidays, there we go, that I'm sad that I can't still go trick-or-treating because I liked all the variety of candy you always got as a kid.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, you always got a little bit of everything because I like Smarties and Sweet Tarts. You like the shit that you don't normally get except for in your variety grab bag on Halloween. Runts, you know, stuff like that.
Yeah. Raisins.
Sixlets. I actually, you know what? I might have to say sixlets.
This is a rabbit hole of a question. I don't think you realized.
Sixlets are one of my favorite candies.
Sixlets are pretty good.
And they're like all vintagey and hard to find.
Girl, you had to choose one favorite.
I'm gonna say sixlets. I fucking love
There you go.
sixlets, and they're hard
Sixlets
to
it is.
find. They're hard to find. Sixlets.
Someone asked, how do you want to do this shirt? There is one on the Geek and Sundry website. Shop now. So hopefully they're up again and they sold out pretty quick, but you can probably get those soon. And I guess I'll answer this question as the last one of the evening because it's game related. Someone asked, did I ever think that how do you want to do this would become a thing? No,
That is a good question.
I didn't. I mean, you know, DMs and GMs for forever have been, you know, asking players, you know, not all of them, but a lot of them ask players to describe their epic hits and epic, you know, victory kills. That phrase just kind of organically started coming out in the games that I'd run, and it became a catchphrase within our campaigns. And so I didn't even think about it when we started the show that it would catch on like that. And it's been kind of crazy and wild to see other people adopt it and it to kind of have a life of its own. It's, I mean, like many elements of this game, it's really strange and wonderful. So it's proud papa for me, it's proud papa feeling to think that I've had in some way, shape or form helped shape some people's gaming experience. So that's cool.
And guess what?
What?
On the East Coast, it is Thursday, and here it's going to be Thursday in 2 hours.
That's right. So for some of us, is it Thursday yet? Soon. For some, it already is. Yay.
Oh my god, I need to like rewatch some of last week's episode to kind of refresh me. So much happens.
And so much is going to happen.
Oh my god. Fucking Cassandra's still alive?
I know. All right. Shall we sign off?
So much going on.
Guys, thank you so much for coming and being a part of our impromptu convo. We'll we'll do this again soon. And for those who are coming tomorrow night, we'll see you then for Christmas.
tomorrow.
And have a wonderful night. Sleep well. We'll talk to you
Love
soon.
you guys.
Bye. If I can do this right, how do I turn this off? It's crazy.
It's hard. Yeah,
Internet.
No, you gotta do
Swipe
that.
down.
Swipe
there we go.
down.
Okay.
Swipe down.
I got
Where
there.
You gotta know.
I don't. I'm such an old man.
That button. No,
This button.
no, no,
It
no,
says
this,
swipe
where
down
that,
to
where that arrow is.
right there. That's the arrow.
God damn
I'm the
it,
worst
man.
at this.
There
Stop.
you
There you go.
go.
All right. Good night, guys.